This is 3 more easy to identify wild edibles you can find outside right now.
Henbit, and this is another great wild edible that's very common in early spring and easy to identify by its small flowers and unique lobed leaves that grow directly off the stem. And this is another one found in almost any suburban yard and grows in large mats of foliage that turn pretty purple when they form flower petals, and is an important early season source of nectar and pollen for honeybees. It's a highly nutritious, high in iron, vitamin C, chlorophyll, polyphenols, antioxidants, and fiber, and is known to be useful in healing wounds. A poultice made of henbit can treat external bleeding, burns, bruises, stings, and wounds, and is an anti-rheumatic and relieves chronic pain and discomfort in joints and connective tissue. It also has anti-inflammatory properties and is a diaphoretic, which means it induces sweating and reduces fever. And a tea made from the leaves is a gentle laxative that can treat diarrhea. Henbit can be consumed fresh or cooked. The stems, flowers, and leaves are edible, and although this is in the mint family, it actually tastes more like raw kale. It's a great all-around wild food that you'll have no trouble finding. This clover, a very common wild perennial that comes from the nitrogen-fixing bean family and produces unique dense pink blossoms that from a distance have a rounded appearance, and they're easy to identify once you become familiar with it, and you'll see this everywhere once you learn to recognize it. The mature leaves look like shamrock or 3-leaf clover with a light green crescent appearing midway from the center, and they grow in large patches low to the ground. The blossom and leaves have been harvested throughout human history for their nutritious properties and cleansing qualities. In Western herbalism, red clover is viewed as a nutritive tonic, skin healer, and blood purifier by positively altering the condition of the bloodstream, and is often used in liver detoxification and skin clearing formulas as a supportive herb. The blossoms naturally contain phenolic compounds such as isoflavonoids like diazin, ginseng, forminetin, and pumestrol. These are phytoestrogens that can mimic estrogen hormones depending on the amount consumed. Dietary phytoestrogens should largely be avoided by those with estrogen-sensitive skin disorders, and red clover tea is commonly recommended for women going through menopause because of its ability to increase estrogen, and was observed to have a positive effect on alleviating hot flashes in menopausal women. The parts traditionally gathered are the blossoms with leaves attached, and clover is ready to harvest when the flowers are dense and in full bloom. Use fresh clover blossom and leaves for making tea and herbal infusions, or the small leaves sparingly in a salad or cooked in a dish. Broadleaf plantain, a perennial plant that grows in many locations from spring to autumn in almost every urban environment. It has green oval-shaped leaves that grow in a circular rosette. These leaves have thick stems that meet at the base of the plant and long pointed white flower spikes on tall slender leafless stalks that sprout upward from the center of the plant. A poultice of the leaves can be applied to wounds, stings, and sores in order to facilitate healing and prevent infection. The active chemical constituents are aucubin, an antimicrobial agent, allantoin, which stimulates cellular growth and tissue regeneration, and mucilage, which reduces pain and discomfort. Plantain has astringent properties, and a tea made from the leaves can be ingested to treat diarrhea and soothe raw internal membranes. It contains many bioactive compounds like ursolic acid and flavonoids, and scientific studies have shown that plantain extract has a wide range of biological effects, including wound healing activity, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibiotic, immunomodulating properties. It is also a very nutritious leaf vegetable that is high in calcium and vitamin A, C, and K, and 100 grams of plantain contains approximately the same amount of vitamin A as a large carrot. The entire plant is edible, and the young leaves can be eaten raw or cooked. Many people blanch the leaves in boiling water before using them in salad to make them more tender, and once blanched, plantain can be frozen and used later in a sauté, soup, or stew. Seeds can be eaten raw or cooked, or ground into a meal and mixed with flour for a bread substitute, and the dried leaves make a healthy medicinal tea.